My entitled family tried to cut me out of grandma's will because they thought I was too independent, but now that I've inherited everything, they're suing me and revealing dark secrets from our past. Hey everyone, buckle up because I've got a wild family drama to share. I'm a 28-year-old woman, and I never imagined I'd be spilling something like this online, but holy crap, my family turned into a pack of vultures overnight. I need to vent, maybe get some advice, because I'm losing it. Let me take you back to the start, because this mess has been brewing for years, and it's all exploding now over my grandma's inheritance. Growing up, my family was, let's just say, complicated. I'm the youngest of 3 siblings. There's my brother Mark, who's 32, my sister Lisa, who's 30, and then me. Our parents, mom at 55 and dad at 57, played favorites like it was an Olympic sport. Mark was the golden boy, could do no wrong, got all the praise and opportunities. Lisa was the princess, always babied and excused for every mistake. And me? I was labeled the independent one, which was just code for being left to fend for myself since I was a kid. They kicked me out at 18 to learn responsibility, while Mark and Lisa lived rent-free at home through college and beyond. I worked 2 jobs, dragged myself through community college, and built a decent life as a graphic designer. No help from them, not ever. But my grandma, my mom's mom, she was my rock. She was this fierce, no-nonsense woman who saw right through my parents' nonsense. She'd slip me money for books, take me on secret little trips, and share stories of how she built her own business from scratch after Grandpa passed away young. Grandma had a nice house, some investments, and a small art collection, nothing insanely wealthy, but enough to matter, probably around $500,000 total if you tally it up. She always told me, darling, you're the only one who reminds me of me. The others just take. Fast forward to last year. Grandma got sick, cancer, the aggressive kind that doesn't mess around. I moved in with her to help, put my freelance gigs on hold, and was there every single day, holding her hand, managing her meds, dealing with doctors. My siblings? Mark visited maybe twice, always griping about traffic. Lisa came once, spent the whole time on her phone, and whined about how depressing it was. Mom and Dad popped in now and then, but mostly to argue with Grandma about her stubbornness for not selling her house to fund their retirement fantasies. Grandma passed away 3 months ago at 82. It absolutely wrecked me. I planned the funeral because no one else stepped up. Then came the reading of the will, and oh boy, that's when the chaos erupted. Her lawyer, this old guy who'd known her forever, sat us all down and read it aloud. Grandma left everything to me. The house, the savings, the art, every last bit. There were small bequests to Mom, $10,000, and $5,000 each to Mark and Lisa, but the bulk? All mine. She even wrote a letter explaining why, to my dearest granddaughter, who showed me love without expectation. The others have taken enough from life, it's time you get your share. The room exploded. Mom started sobbing dramatically, wailing, how could she do this to us? We're her family. Dad slammed his fist on the table, shouting, this is bullshit. She must have been manipulated. You were always there, whispering in her ear. Mark accused me of coercing her, claiming I probably tampered with her meds to change the will. Lisa just glared at me like I'd stolen her favorite toy, muttering, you're not even married or have kids. What do you need all that for? I was stunned. I tried to stay calm, saying, Grandma made her choices. She saw who was there for her. But they weren't having it. Dad pulled me aside after and said, listen, kid, you don't need all this. Mark's got a family, 2 kids, a mortgage. Lisa's struggling with her business. Be fair, split it equally, or we'll make this ugly. I refused. Why should I? Grandma wanted it this way, and honestly, after years of being the family afterthought, it felt like validation. Things escalated quickly. They started calling me nonstop, leaving voicemails like Mom's, how dare you hoard Grandma's money? We raised you. Yeah, raised me to be invisible. Mark texted, you're being selfish. Think of my kids, your nieces and nephews. They deserve better. Lisa even showed up at my apartment, banging on the door, screaming, open up, you greedy bitch. That's our inheritance too. I blocked them all and went no contact. I hired a lawyer to handle the probate, thinking that was the end of it. But nope. 2 weeks ago, I got served papers, they're contesting the will. They're claiming undue influence and that Grandma wasn't of sound mind. They're saying I isolated her, prevented them from visiting, which is a total lie. I begged them to come, and basically brainwashed her. The lawsuit demands the will be invalidated and everything split equally among Mom's kids, plus they're asking for legal fees for my share. I'm furious and scared. This could drag on for years, eat up the inheritance and court costs. And the betrayal? It cuts deep. We were never close, but I didn't think they'd stoop this low. Am I the asshole for not just giving in and splitting it? Or should I fight? I feel like Grandma's watching, and she'd want me to stand my ground. Edit. Wow, thanks for all the support in the comments. A lot of you are saying to fight it and get a good lawyer. I'm on that. Some of you asked for more details on why Grandma favored me. It's not just the caregiving. She told me stories about how Mom and Dad borrowed money from her over the years and never paid it back, tens of thousands for Mark's wedding, Lisa's failed boutique. She felt used, and she saw me as the one who didn't ask for handouts. Update 1. Alright, guys, things have gotten even crazier since I first posted. It's been about a month, and the lawsuit is moving forward. My lawyer is confident. We have witnesses from the hospice nurses who can testify Grandma was sharp as a tack until the end, and her will was updated 2 years ago when she was healthy, not during her illness. But my family? They're pulling out all the stops. Last week, I got a call from an unknown number. It was Dad, sounding all remorseful at first. "Sweetie, let's talk this out like family. We don't want to drag this to court. Just come over, we'll hash it out." I stupidly agreed to meet at a neutral spot, a coffee shop, thinking maybe they wanted to drop it. Big mistake. I show up, and it's the whole gang: Mom, Dad, Mark, Lisa, and, get this, Mark's wife, who's pregnant with their third kid, looking all pitiful. They ambush me with a sob story. Mom starts, "Honey, think about the grandkids. Mark's house is too small now, and with the baby coming, they need space. Grandma's house would be perfect for them." Mark chimes in, "Yeah, and you've got your little apartment. You're single, no responsibilities. It's not fair you get it all." I tried to explain again. Grandma chose this. She wanted me to have security because you guys never gave me any. That's when Lisa lost it. She leaned in, hissing, "Security? You were always the problem child, acting like you're better than us. Grandma pitied you, that's all. But fine, if you won't share, we'll prove you stole it." Then Dad drops a bomb. "We have proof you manipulated her. Remember those emails you sent Grandma about how neglected you felt? We found them. Makes you look like you were poisoning her against us." What? I did email Grandma sometimes, venting about family stuff, but nothing manipulative. How did they even get those? Turns out, when Grandma was in the hospital, Mom went through her things and hacked her email or something. Is that even legal? I stood up and left, telling them, "See you in court." But now I'm paranoid. My lawyer says we can counter with invasion of privacy claims, but this feels so dirty. And the emotional toll. Mark's kids are my nieces and nephew. I love them, but he's using them as pawns. One of them, little Emma, who's 6, called me from his phone, probably prompted, "Annie, why won't you let us have Grandma's house? Daddy says you're mean." It broke my heart. On a positive note, I started going through Grandma's stuff at the house since probate let me access it. I found a locked box with letters and old photos. One letter from Grandma to me, unopened, dated a month before she died. Read, "My girl, if they fight you, remember the safe in the attic. Keys in my jewelry box. It'll explain everything." What the hell? I haven't checked yet, too overwhelmed, but I'm planning to this weekend. You guys were right, this is war, but am I crazy for feeling guilty? Like, maybe I should just give them something to shut them up? Update 2. Holy crap, Reddit, you won't believe what I found. After my last update, I couldn't sleep thinking about that letter. So yesterday, I went to Grandma's house alone. It's this cozy old Victorian on a quiet street, full of her paintings and knickknacks. I felt like she was there with me, you know? I grabbed the key from her jewelry box, it was hidden under a false bottom, sneaky Grandma, and headed to the attic. The safe was dusty, tucked behind some boxes. It opened with a click, and inside? A stack of documents, more letters, and a USB drive. I sat on the floor and started reading. First, there were loan agreements, copies of checks Grandma wrote to my parents over the years. $50,000 for Dad's business venture that failed, $30,000 for Lisa's wedding, $20,000 for Mark's down payment on his house. All marked as loans, with repayment plans they never honored. Grandma had noted in the margins, "Promise to pay back, but excuses every time." Then, the letters. One from Mom to Grandma, dated 5 years ago. "Mother, we need more help. My name is fine on her own, she's strong. But Mark and Lisa are building families. Don't waste it all on her." Waste? Another from Dad, "Your will is unfair. If you leave it all to me, it'll cause division. Split it now, while you're alive." They were pressuring her for years. But the real kicker? A journal entry from Grandma. I suspect they've been snooping. Found my desk drawers open last visit. If they contest, show the lawyer the USB, recordings of our talks. The USB. I plugged it into my laptop right there. It's audio files, dozens of them. Grandma recorded conversations with my family. One from last year has Mom saying, "If you don't change the will, we'll have to prove you're not right in the head." Dad adds, "Yeah, we can get doctors to say dementia." Mark chimes in, "Just give me the house deed now, save the trouble." I was shaking. This is evidence of them plotting to undermine her will before she even died. It's like they were just waiting for her to pass. There's even a recording of Lisa saying to Grandma, "You always favored me, because she's the victim. But she's just manipulative. We'll make sure she gets nothing." I called my lawyer immediately. He was ecstatic. "This is gold. We can file for dismissal and countersue for fraud, emotional distress, maybe even extortion." But as I was leaving the house, I heard a car pull up. I looked out the window. It's Mark and his wife, with a real estate agent. They were walking around the property, pointing at things like they already owned it. I confronted them from the porch. "What the hell are you doing here?" Mark smirked, "Just scoping out our future home. Once we win the suit, it'll be ours." His wife added, "The kids will love the backyard." I told them to get off the property or I'd call the cops. They left, but Mark yelled back, "You think you can hoard it all? We've got more dirt on you than you know." Now I'm terrified they've got something up their sleeve. What dirt? I've lived a clean life, no scandals. But this family. They've always been good at twisting things. I copied everything from the safe and hid the originals. My lawyer says we're meeting tomorrow to plan the counterattack. But guys, the betrayal is hitting hard. These recordings show they didn't even care about Grandma, it was all about the money. How do I face them in court knowing this? Also, a side note, a few of you messaged asking if I'm okay mentally. Not really, therapy's on the list. This is exhausting. Keep the advice coming, it's helping. Update 3. Alright, Reddit, strap in because this just went from bad to nuclear. It's been 2 weeks since I found the safe, and we've filed our response to the lawsuit, including all the evidence from Grandma's stash. My lawyer attached the loan docs, letters, and excerpts from the recordings, with full copies ready for discovery. We also filed a motion to dismiss and a countersuit for defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and, get this, civil conspiracy, since the recordings prove they colluded to contest the will fraudulently. The family's reaction? Explosive. Mom called me from a blocked number, hysterical. "How could you do this? Airing our dirty laundry? Those recordings are private, you stole them." I hung up. Then Lisa showed up at my work, my actual office, where I just started a new job. She caused a scene in the lobby, screaming, "Thief! She's stealing our inheritance." Security escorted her out, but my boss pulled me aside. "Everything okay?" I had to explain vaguely, and now I feel like my professional life is tainted. But the real bomb dropped yesterday. I got an email from an anonymous account with the subject, "The truth about your birth." Attached was a scanned document, an old birth certificate, but not quite mine. Wait, it is mine, but it lists Dad as my father, Mom as mother, with a note about adoption proceedings. What? I've always known I was their biological kid. Then a message, "You think you're entitled to Grandma's money? You're not even blood. We have proof you were adopted, and Grandma knew. That's why she favored you, pity. Drop the suit, or we release this to everyone." My heart stopped. Adopted? I called my lawyer and forwarded it. He says it's likely a forgery or something twisted, but we need to investigate. I confronted Dad over text, "Is this true? Am I adopted?" His response, "Come talk in person. We can settle this." No denial. I dug through Grandma's safe again and found another letter, sealed, addressed to me. "If they bring up the past, know I loved you as my own. But there's more to your story. Check the hospital records in the blue envelope." I found it, old medical files from my birth. It shows Mom gave birth to me, but there's a paternity test request? A scribbled note from Grandma reads, "Suspected affair. Test negative for Dad's name." But we kept it quiet for the family. Holy crap. Dad's not my bio dad? And they knew? Is that why they treated me like garbage my whole life? The anonymous email must be from them, using this as leverage. But if Grandma knew and still left me everything, maybe she was protecting me. I'm reeling. I'm meeting with my lawyer tomorrow to verify everything, maybe a DNA test? But if this is true, it changes everything. Are they bluffing to scare me? Or is my entire life a lie? And if I push forward, they'll drag this into court, make it public. What do I do? Cliffhanger, I know, but I can't even process this. Updates soon, I promise. Update 4. Okay, Reddit, I promised an update, and here it is, though I wish I could say this nightmare is over. It's been a whirlwind week since that bombshell email and Grandma's letter about the paternity test. I didn't sleep much, just staring at the ceiling, replaying my whole childhood in my head. Why did they always treat me like the outsider? The favoritism, kicking me out at 18, it all clicked in the worst way. But I wasn't going to let them bully me with this. I met with my lawyer first thing, and we decided to get ahead of it. He recommended a DNA test kit, expedited through a lab, to confirm everything privately before they could weaponize it in court. I did the test, swabbed my cheek, sent it off, and waited the agonizing 48 hours for results. In the meantime, I went back to Grandma's house and pored over more documents from the safe. There was the blue envelope with hospital records, my birth certificate, Mom's delivery notes, and that paternity request form from 28 years ago. It was dated a month after I was born, with a note saying, test conducted at, hospital name. Results, Dad's name, not biological father. Grandma had kept it all, probably as insurance. But why? Another letter from her explained, your mom had an affair during a rough patch. We decided to raise you as dads, to keep the family together. He agreed, but it poisoned things. I protected you because they couldn't love you fully. Forgive them if you can, but don't let them take what's yours. Forgive them? Hell no. The DNA results came back yesterday, confirmed, the man I thought was dad isn't my biological father. Match probability, 0%. I sat in my car crying for an hour. Relief? Anger? Betrayal? All of it. My lawyer says this doesn't invalidate the inheritance. Grandma was Mom's mom, so blood or not, I'm still her granddaughter legally through Mom. But emotionally? It's a gut punch. I confronted them. I called a family meeting at a park, neutral ground, and I recorded it on my phone for safety. They all showed up, Mom looking smug, Dad avoiding eye contact, Mark and Lisa with their arms crossed. I laid it out, I know the truth. I'm not Dad's biologically, you've known all along, and that's why you treated me like crap. And now you're using it to blackmail me over Grandma's will? Mom burst into tears immediately. Oh, honey, it was a mistake. I was young, your dad, well, he forgave me. We didn't want you to feel different. Dad muttered, I raised you, didn't I? That should count for something. Mark jumped in, see? You're not even real family. Grandma probably left you everything out of guilt. Drop the suit, give us our share, and we won't tell anyone your dirty little secret. Lisa sneered, yeah, imagine your friends, your job finding out you're the product of Mom's affair. We'd hate for that to happen. It was straight up extortion. I stayed calm, barely, Grandma knew and still chose me. And I've got recordings of you plotting against her. This changes nothing, except now I know why you hated me. See you in court. They stormed off, Mom wailing, you're tearing this family apart. But as I drove home, I felt free? Like the puzzle pieces finally fit, and their hold on me is breaking. My lawyer filed an addendum to our countersuit, including the extortion attempt with my recording and a request for a protective order to stop them from harassing me. Court date is set for next month. Am I scared? Yeah. But I'm done feeling guilty. This inheritance is my fresh start, bio dad or not. Update 5. Things are escalating faster than I expected. Reddit. Court happened yesterday, a preliminary hearing for the will contest and our motion to dismiss. My family showed up with their sleazy lawyer, some guy Mark knows from work who looks like he charges by the hour and smells like cheap cologne. The judge was this no-nonsense woman who didn't seem impressed by the drama. Their side went first, claiming undue influence and presenting those emails I sent Grandma as proof I turned her against them. Their lawyer droned on, my clients were denied access, while the defendant isolated the decedent. Then they dropped the adoption bomb, submitted that birth certificate from the email, arguing I'm not a blood relative, so Grandma's favoritism was irrational and evidence of diminished capacity. My lawyer stood up, calm as hell, Your Honor, this is a farce. We have audio recordings of the plaintiffs conspiring to contest the will before Mrs. Grandma's last name passed. Here's the evidence. He played snippets in court, Mom's voice, will prove dementia. Dad, get doctors. The room went silent. Mark's face turned red, Lisa looked like she wanted to sink into the floor. Then, on the paternity thing, as for the defendant's parentage, it's irrelevant. Inheritance law doesn't require biological ties through the father, the decedent was the maternal grandmother. Moreover, this revelation is being used as extortion. See the anonymous email and our client's recording of the family meeting. He submitted everything, including my DNA results, with my permission, to show I'm owning the truth. The judge wasn't having it. She dismissed their contest on the spot. This smells like greed and fraud. Motion granted. Countersuit proceeds to trial. My family freaked. Mom started sobbing loudly. Dad yelled at their lawyer, "You said this was a slam dunk." Mark tried to approach me after. "This isn't over, sis. You'll regret this." The bailiff escorted them out. But wait, it gets better, or worse. As we were leaving, their lawyer pulled mine aside and whispered something. Turns out, they're desperate, offered to settle the countersuit for $50,000 total, split among them, if I drop everything and go no contact. My lawyer laughed. They're broke. Those loans Grandma documented? They owe creditors too. This suit was their Hail Mary. I refused the offer. We're pushing for full damages, emotional distress, legal fees, maybe even punitive for the conspiracy. On the drive home, I stopped at Grandma's grave. Told her everything. Felt like she was smiling. But now, Lisa's been blowing up my old friend's socials with sob stories. My sister's stealing our inheritance and she's not even real family. A couple messaged me, confused. I explained briefly, but it's humiliating. Still, I'm holding strong. Trial for the countersuit is in 3 months. Fingers crossed. Final update. Final update, folks, at least for now. The countersuit trial wrapped up last week, and holy crap, it was cathartic. The evidence buried them. We presented the recordings in full, the unpaid loans, which the judge noted as motive, my recording of the extortion attempt, and even testimony from Grandma's doctor confirming her sound mind. Their defense? Pathetic. Mom took the stand, crying, "We just wanted what's fair. She's not even my husband's daughter." The judge shut that down quick, irrelevant to the claims. Mark admitted under cross-examination that they discussed ways to challenge the will before Grandma died, but claimed it was just talk. Lisa broke down, saying, "We were desperate, our businesses are failing." Dad stayed silent, looking defeated. Verdict: we won. The judge awarded me $100,000 in damages, $25,000 each from Mom, Dad, Mark, and Lisa, basically wiping out their small bequests and then some, plus all my legal fees covered, which was $40,000. She also issued a no-contact order for 2 years, barring them from harassing me or spreading lies about my parentage. If they violate it, they're looking at jail time. They left the courtroom in shambles. Mom tried one last hug. "Please, baby, we're family." I pulled away, "Not anymore." Mark muttered, "Enjoy your blood money," but his wife dragged him out. I heard through a mutual acquaintance that Mark's house is going into foreclosure. They were banking on Grandma's money to save it. Lisa's business shut down. Dad's talking divorce from Mom, blaming her affair for everything. As for me? I sold some of Grandma's art, kept the sentimental pieces, paid off my student loans, and bought a small condo outright. I started therapy. Unpacking 28 years of baggage is no joke. And the paternity? I hired a pie to find my bio dad. Turns out, he's a decent guy, lives a state over, had no idea I existed. We've emailed, I'm meeting him soon. Who knows, maybe a new family chapter awaits. Grandma's letter said it best, "Stand tall, my girl. You've earned this." I did. If they try anything else, I'm ready. Thanks, Reddit, you guys kept me sane. No more wondering if I'm the asshole, I know I'm not. Peace out. Hi there, if you made it so far. Consider dropping a like and maybe subscribing. Thanks. And have a nice one.